Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Team Tomey Inner Circle Weekly Meetup. Good to have all you guys here tonight. As I was saying just before the webinar started, a lot of you were just on another webinar with me, so we're going into like hour 2/3 with Liz tonight. I appreciate you guys showing up for all this. The other webinar was a totally different one, but I really appreciate you guys coming and learning on these and supporting me. Every time you guys show up, to me, it's like you're voting for me, so I really, really appreciate you. All right, so tonight we are going to do a lesson, and tonight we're going to talk about a fast way to get buyers onto your list. Okay, now we all know that a list of freebie seekers, so let's say this is a list, and you got all your freebie seekers on it. You have to work pretty hard with these guys to turn them into money. When you get a list and it has buyers on it, guess what? These guys are easy to turn into money as long as you're good to them, okay? Happy buyers buy more stuff from you. So tonight we're going to talk about how to create a list of buyers when you're not even known in your niche, okay? Larry says keeping up with all of Liz's webinars is a full-time job. Between my webinars and my Facebook groups, I will keep you guys busy. Remember, don't just consume. Use what I'm teaching you, though, okay? Seriously. All right, so if you've never released a product before and you have no joint venture partners / affiliates, I don't know why we're still calling them joint venture partners. It's because I'm old school. But you have no affiliates, you have no connections, you have no anything. The first thing you need to do, and I'm actually going to pull up a Word doc and take some notes tonight. The first thing you need to do is create a social presence, okay? And to do that, the first thing you need to do is, of course, get a Facebook page. Get set up on Facebook and start adding people who are in your niche. If you don't know your niche yet, then of course you're going to need to find a niche, okay? And I've already covered that in other videos. I'm not going to cover that again tonight. But you need to know your niche before you go in starting a product. So number one, create a social presence. So get a Facebook page. A great way to find people that are interested in your Facebook niche is to go find groups that are on the topic of your niche. If you have friends who are in the niche, see who their friends are, see if they're talking about them. Start adding them on Facebook and start interacting with them, okay? So Facebook, make friends in your niche, okay? Then you need to set up YouTube. And you need to get in front of the camera with your pretty face, even if your face isn't pretty. Because here's the deal. As long as you're providing good information, people don't care what you look like, okay? You don't have to be gorgeous to get in front of the camera. But people need to see you. That's how you start creating a relationship with them when we're doing internet marketing, okay? When we're doing an internet business. You've got to be able to bond with those people. And one way to bond with those people virtually is by doing videos. So at least commit to a couple of videos a week, okay? So we're going to do talking head videos and tutorials. So you need to start teaching them things that you know about your niche. You can also outsource this too, okay? Is what I would do is if I was going to outsource this, I would go to an outsourcer and say, hey, I need to do a video. Let's say we were doing internet marketing. I need to do a video on a way to create an ebook. I need it to be about 10 minutes long. Can you write a script for me? There's people out there who will do this for you. They can create a PowerPoint presentation and you can just read it or have someone else read it. But if you're trying to, create a social presence, it really needs to be your voice, okay? You can read it, do your little PowerPoint presentation, boom, okay? Don't make this harder than it is. You've got to start creating a social presence, though. Instagram. Instagram is something I'm newly using. I'm learning a lot about it, but basically is what you want to do is you want to find people who are sharing the same kind of information that you are, okay? So, and that's, there's Instagram is the picture social network, okay? So you got to be sharing pictures, social memes, stuff like that. So, share pics, social memes, etc. And make sure you're adding people who are interested in your niche. You can tell by their hashtags, look at their profiles, see the people that they're following. Find an expert in your niche and see if they're on Instagram, and then go look at all their followers. Those people are interested in that niche, okay? So those are the three big ones, and that's what you got to do before you do anything. This needs to be done like a month before you even think about what kind of product you're going to create to build that list of buyers, okay? Then, once you've done that, it's time for the product creation process. So what you need to do is go into your niche and find a problem that people are having and create a solution for them. Okay? So one thing that people in my niche are having an issue with is creating a product. So I could create a checklist for them, and I already have one. I have created a checklist on how to create a product in, say, a day. A product in a day thing, okay? So I could go through, create this checklist. How many people would want that? Create a product in a day? Absolutely. But if you're going to create a product that you want to build a big list from and have big success from it, it's got to be a product that solves a big problem, okay? It's got to be something that people really, really want. If you guys, I know a lot of you guys in here are going to start creating products, and a lot of you guys haven't created products yet. If I said, hey, I've got a checklist, and you can go through it, and it will show you exactly how to create your own product, and it's for sale for $5, how many of you guys would be like, give it to me? Let's do some market research right here. How many of you guys would be like, give it to me? $5? Yes. Okay, so I have one buyer, Jenny. Larry says, yes, I would say give it to me. Larry, I'm not even going there. Lynn, yes. Peter, yes. Dale says, I'll give you $10. Lynn says, yes. Lynn, last name. I love Lynn. So boom. Guess what, guys? I just did market research. Now, a lot of you guys, of course, Lynn says, make it 15. God, I love you guys. A lot of you guys, of course, don't have access to a webinar where you're going to have people on it. But you do have access to Facebook. So you could definitely go to Facebook once you have your little presence and say, hey, if I created XYZ, would you guys give me $5 for it? See what people say. That's all you've got to do, guys. Of course, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I'm just giving you guys the down and dirty part of it, okay? So, product creation process. Find a need and fill it. You could do checklists, cheat sheets, resource documents, simple software programs. If you're doing like the techie niche, you could do simple WordPress plugins and themes, stuff like that. There's so many options, but it has to be a big need, and it has to be something that people really, really want. And then you're going to offer them an awesome deal on it by giving it to them for, $5-7, okay? Lynn says, Liz Tomey ebook auction. I haven't even created this thing yet. Actually, I do have it created. All right, so product creation process. Once you have your product created, then you go into marketing mode. And as what I suggest that you do is you start going and finding potential affiliates. Find potential affiliates. If you go to youtube.com/Liz Tomey, there's a whole bunch of videos there, and I've covered affiliate getting a couple of times, okay? But you need to find potential affiliates. Up here, when you're doing all this stuff, you should be noting down people who are selling products in your niche. And you need to be getting in front of them. You need to be networking with them. You need to be sharing content from them. If you are creating a small little, maybe a freebie seeker list, you need to be sending that list messages about those people's products. Even if you only make 1 or 2 sales, you're going to get on those people's radars. I made a post the other day on Facebook. I get more excited about my people who I see working their butts off and make like 1 or 2 sales more than I do the affiliates who bring me, 100 new people. Of course, I love that money and I love all those new customers, but where I really get my rocks off is when my little guys start making money. And most people are that way, okay? If you just stand up and support people, you will be amazed at when it comes time for them to support you, they will support you, okay? So comment on their stuff, share their stuff, get in their faces, be in front of them. And when it comes time for you to get affiliates, they'll be more than happy to promote for you, okay? So find potential affiliates and then create your marketing system. So you create this little product, and it just needs to be a little product, and you want to charge between $5 and $10 for it. And you want to give affiliates at least 100% commission. I say at least because you see everybody doing like 200% commissions and stuff like that. People go bananas over that. Now, of course, that's going to cost you money. So if you're just starting out, you don't want to do that. Alex Jeffries is like the king of doing that. And he has built one hell of a list by doing that, okay? So then you want to create your marketing system, sales page, download page. You don't have to have upsells and crazy stuff like that. If you do, your affiliates are going to love you even more, especially if you give them 100% commission, even on the upsells you have, okay? And I've done that. I've given 100% commissions all the way through my funnels before because all I'm concerned about is getting those buyers, okay? Like, for instance, I just did the Six-Figure PLR Academy. I only charged $300 a person to get into that. I know I say only $300, and that is a lot of money, but for what I'm giving in that class, it's not. Especially when you factor in that I had affiliates promoting that. So they got 50% of that money. So now I'm down to, half the money for some of these students that I'm getting in. So it really doesn't benefit me to get people in at that price and give money to affiliates. But guess what? I just got a whole bunch of people who are willing to pay $300 to get into a class. Don't you think those people are going to be people who buy my bigger priced items? They're going to be my repeat buyers, stuff like that. If somebody has $300 to fork down, chances are they're going to spend more money with you. And you're going to get a better quality of customer. But that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother topic, okay? But what I want to explain to you guys is when you get a buyer, as opposed to getting a freebie seeker, you're going to make a lot more money, okay? I'm going to see what questions you guys have here. Mary Mason says support host for Liz. Got it. Yes. Peter Wickman says, I'm Aussie, by the way. I didn't know you were an Aussie, Peter. For some reason, I thought you were in the UK. I guess I have no idea where my customers are from. Great. I think Kate's an Aussie, and I think that Peter's from the UK. Wonderful. Great job, Liz Tomey. All right, guys. So, create your social presence. Create your product. Go into marketing mode. Create your marketing system. You need to, a part of your marketing system, so it'll be sales page, download page, and JV page, okay? And then also in this whole marketing mode is actually going out and talking to those affiliates and getting them to promote for you, okay? And that's where you'll send them to your JV page. And I've also covered creating a JV page, youtube.com/Liz Tomey. The video is there somewhere. But as I fill this out tonight, I'll also put links to videos where I talk more about certain things here too, okay? All right, guys, so isn't this easy? Create your social presence. That's time consuming. I know that. Create a product. That's time consuming. I know that. This shouldn't take more than a couple of days if you are if you're just filling a small need with a big demand, okay? Like I said, the whole checklist for creating your own product in a day. That would be huge. And of course, depending on your niche, it's going to depend on what you do there. And then you go into marketing mode. But this all has to be done step by step. And you don't... Now, of course, you can start finding your potential affiliates right away, but you don't start talking to affiliates until all of this is done. So, what happens is... Let me see if I got another page here. Business Blues, here we go. So, you set up your product for sale. I'm going to diagram this out for you guys. Alright, so if you do all of this correctly, you've set up your social presence. We'll use this as your social presence, okay? This is your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever other social sites that you want to use. I'm naming those three because those are the three that I use and know how to use, and have had success with building a social presence, okay? So you build that up, you go out, you get affiliates, and they're going to send traffic to this page. This is where your little product you created, you're selling for $5 to $10. Then is what happens is when someone buys here, they're put on your list. Now, of course, all the money goes to whoever's sending you the traffic, your affiliates. But you get this list, and you can make money off this list repeatedly by sending emails to it. Now, of course, you need to do some, I need to put here, number 4. Let's do launch. And then number 4, profit from your list of buyers. You've got to know email marketing here. So you've got to know how to do the like, know, and trust emails. You got to get your new customers loving you. And then you need to know how to do promotional emails. So what I do is I create several emails that are my like, know, and trust emails, and they automatically go out to these people. And then I just broadcast messages. When I find something I want to promote to this list, I just broadcast a message out to them. That's all I do. And you could use this strategy right here and do nothing but get affiliates to promote this. So if you got, let's say, 25 affiliates to promote this, they all get you 10 sales. That's 250 buyers on your list. And let's say you do that in 3 months. There's no reason why you can't get another 25 affiliates and another 25 affiliates and another 25 affiliates if you're in a big enough niche to keep building this list bigger and bigger. And what's going to happen is your income's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You can also repeat this whole system. This is a system, and you could make a living off of just doing this system. Go find another product that this market needs, create it for them. You could go back to the same affiliates, or if affiliates were like, no, that really doesn't fit, you can go, hey, I have this now, and they might be more likely to do that, okay? So you can either keep getting affiliates and or rinse and repeat this whole thing, okay? So times 2, times 3, times 4. You can have as many of these systems as you want. But this is exactly what you need to do to build a list of buyers, okay? All right, guys. Everybody understand what I just went over? Anybody have questions of what I just went over? Dell Walker, when you set up your FB page, what type of page do you choose? Okay, so when I say, set up an FB account, if you don't have a Facebook account yet, that's what I mean by that. If you already have a Facebook account, until you're like really known or you're going to do some Facebook advertising and stuff like that, you don't need a Facebook fan page, okay? Everybody talks about, oh, you can do this with a Facebook fan page and that with a Facebook fan page. Because of the Facebook advertising system now, when you post to your fan page, it's hardly getting seen. So the only reason why you need a fan page is if you're going to be doing Facebook advertising and boosting posts that you put on your Facebook page. So I'm not talking about a Facebook fan page at all, Dell. I'm talking about your main Facebook account. Peter says, thank goodness for replays. Yeah, I'm going a little fast tonight. Coffee's got me on fast forward. Where's Liz's slow button? Larry says, a list of 200 buyers is worth at least a list of over 1,000 freebie people. Oh, probably at least. Randy says you are going to explode by Thursday's webinar. I know, right? Richard says, nah, about the same as always. You always fly. I do. Thank God for the rewind button. What I don't have is a pause button. There's no remote for me. No, I've literally had too much coffee today, and I try to not drink so much coffee when I have to do webinars because my little tongue just goes 1,000 miles an hour. All right, guys, questions. Let me have them. Anything that I could cover and go into more detail on? Anything you have questions on with this? Now, of course, the how-to of this I can't quite cover tonight, but this will probably be a product too. But I will flesh this out more so that you guys have something cool to print out and follow this if you decide to use this monster. Richard says, and when don't you have coffee, you are always wound up. I really am. I'm pretty high energy. Alright guys, last call for questions on what I've covered here. If not, we're going to switch over to how can I help you with your biz questions. Last call, guys. Alright, those of you who are on here who need help with your business, if you have questions about something you're working on in your business, including my 6-figure PLR people, usually the Team Tomey webinars, we say for just marketing talk, how to market something. Usually we don't do like business building stuff. And I know tonight's a little bit about business building, but it's also marketing because you need to build a list of buyers. But I will answer any questions you guys have too, because that's a current coaching program I have going on. Any of my webinars, any of my coaching clients, if you get on any of my webinars, I'll answer any questions you guys have. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. I'll answer anything you guys have. Richard says, still need my login for 6-figure site. Then you need to go back to the help desk and say, hey, yeah, you fixed it, but you didn't give me my information. I sent my support guy a message and was like, hey, when you fix something, you still need to give people their username and password. Larry Mason wants to know the meaning of life. The meaning of life. Coffee. All right, Lynn has patiently waited for her question to be answered. I have a question. When you are ready, you mentioned Member Sonic, but I already own OptimizePress and noticed they have a member plugin also. Do you know anything about their member plugin, and would you say Member Sonic is better? Member Sonic is way better. The member plugin that comes with OptimizePress absolutely sucks. It does not work right. I don't even know why they offer that thing, because it does not work right. So there's the short answer to that. Randy says, Optimize Member is rebranded S2 Member. Lynn says, LOL insider tips. Yeah, it's crap. Total crap. Richard said, I looked on Instagram for Be Your Own Boss, and the picture I see make no sense. Well, you should probably look for things like business startup, internet marketing, home business, online business, that kind of stuff. So, Lynn, I quickly answered that one for you. All right, guys, questions? Anything I can help you with in your business? If not, we're going to hang it up for the night. Anybody need help with their business? Larry says, thanks, Liz. Thanks for showing up, Larry. I appreciate you as always. I'm glad I found you. I really am. You've been a joy to have around. Richard says, thanks, Liz. Got Tammy on the phone. Talk soon. Love you. Love you, man. Tell Tammy to have a great time in Texas. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Everybody have an awesome evening, and I'll have this replay and this thing fleshed out a little bit more for you guys. But that's really all there is to building a list of buyers. You just got to put the work in, okay? Talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.